Welcome back, everybody, to the Two Fools in Fantasy Football, our first video of 2022. Hope everybody had a great offseason. Hopefully you won your championship. Sorry we weren't there for the playoffs. Apologies from us, our fault. We will definitely be with you this year through the playoffs and into the championship weeks. Anyway, on to like my buddy Tyler just said, we have to put a tent over this free agency circus that has been going on recently. People unretiring, people going to new domes, and just all the QBs that have gone all over the place, the old faces, new places, carousel. That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode. So take it away, Tyler.
Well, thanks, Marty. We're going to go straight in this QB carousel. This is absolutely nuts what's going on right now. We have so many new we have so many old faces and new places, starting with the Russell Wilson going from Seattle Seahawks to the Denver Broncos. You may have heard of this little trade. It happened about 3 weeks ago. One thing with fantasy football is it is going to up the draft stock of one Jerry Jeudy and one Cortland Sutton. So look for those guys to blast off with Danger Russ. Another guy we're going to talk about is another new face, another old face going to a new place. And Carson Wentz, he is going to the Washington Commanders. Commanders. So, anyways, yeah. Hi ho, Captain. Let me go. So, Carson Wentz will be the new face of the Washington Commanders. So he's going to be their general. Anyways, that does nothing to help that team whatsoever. The only guy worth drafting right now is probably going to be the running back. At a high level, also to Terry McLaurin. That doesn't really do a whole lot for his draft stock whatsoever when it comes to fantasy football, unfortunately. So he is still a superstar stuck with an average quarterback. Next guy we're going to talk about who
it does good for the defenses playing the Commanders.
Yeah, so, Cowboys twice. Yeah,
Cowboys twice.
Giants Eagles twice. Yeah, one. Yeah, go ahead.
And that defense is available. Go ahead and pick them up.
Yeah, first time we ever talking about defense on the show. So new year, new leaf.
Right.
So yeah, we got this covered now. Next guy we're going to talk about is the biggest shocking trade of the year for sure. It is the gentleman who went to the Cleveland Browns. You may have heard of him, Deshaun Watson. He got the most guaranteed money of all time. There's also another gentleman that we have to talk about who went to the Browns. Marty, would you like to talk about this guy who went to the Browns in a trade from the Cowboys? You want to talk about that? Anyway, so that was that. Thank you, Marty, for that wonderful insight over there. So, no, but there was a guy who got traded from the Cowboys. Obviously, that is for cap casualties, but Amari Cooper is going to the Cleveland Browns. He is once again paired up with a top 5 quarterback. So look for Amari Cooper to have a very nice season. And this year he's basically going to be the face of the Cleveland Browns wide receiving core. So look for him to have an uptick in the rankings and the value this year overall again. And Deshaun Watson, too, being a top 5 quarterback. Look for him to have a great year, even though he's playing in the most black and blue division you can possibly play in. That is going to be the toughest division. 3 really good defenses he's got to play twice a year. On top of that, too, the whole side, the West, the East, that whole conference in the AFC has just gotten so much better with all the different trades and all the talent that is coming into that league. So look for that division to be crazy. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about, the guy who is now waiting to be traded, Baker Mayfield. Obviously, when this kind of happens, one leads to another. There's a lot of speculation where that guy's going. We are not in the NFL gossip tree. That's not what we do. Wherever Baker goes, they are going to get a very good quarterback. Obviously, last year Baker was hurt with his left shoulder. That affected everything that he did with his throws. And don't let it fool you. Baker will be back because he has an attitude of the sort where he's a competitor. He wants to play. He wants to get the ball. He wants to show off. He wants to dance. Like, he's got the competitive juices, and he will show us, maybe not so much this year, but in the future, that he's still got it. So just give him a chance. Don't get crazy on that. But you do have Baker. It could be a possible uptick depending where he goes for the receiver core too as well. Just saying maybe, not for sure. But one other guy we're going to talk about too. Now, this is the biggest trade that we've seen so far, and the fact why it's the biggest trade because this is a former NFL MVP. We got to talk about it. I mean, it is the gentleman who my partner in crime is wearing proudly today as he's peacocking, even though they are the Falcons. And now he is going to be a Colt, Matty Ice. I'm going to let Marty talk about Matty Ice and the effect that he's going to have on the Colts offense.
Well, I think Pittman's stock just rose a wee little bit from having Carson there last year. And I think, even T.Y. Hilton, he's still a threat. You still can't just single cover him every down. So he's still someone to look out for. Plus, we got one of the best offensive lines in the league right now, and arguably the best running back for him to dump off passes to. So look for Matty loved doing a little dump off passes to Cordell Patterson last year, which is why Cordell's stock, we're not talking about receivers and running backs right now, but Cordell's stock, it's going to go huge next year in the draft. So look for him to start doing dump offs to Jonathan Taylor and get him more yards and scrimmage yards and stuff like that. So I think it's a good move for Matty. He's been in Atlanta his entire career. Time for a new change of pace, and maybe get back to that. Maybe get back to the bowl and actually get a win this time and not blow a 28-3 lead.
Memories. Question. Do they now sign Julio Jones?
I don't see why not. Why not? There's nothing left in Atlanta for Julio. I mean, he is not the Julio of old, but he's still another one like T.Y. that you can't just forget about him because of what he can do. Yeah. Now he's not a bum yet. He's not a scrub yet, but he's still Julio Jones, and he demands your respect. So,
Yep. Yeah, I just think Julio Jones being a free agent now. I heard rumblings that San Francisco was a place that he was kind of thinking about. I also heard Arizona. Again, we're not in the media department. We're not trying to spread rumors. This is what we kind of read and heard. Also, too, I think the Colts would be a perfect landing spot. He'd be a number 2, like he said, behind Pittman. Also, T.Y. Hilton, just name a few guys. T.Y. Hilton's probably not going to play a full year. Julio Jones is probably going to play a full year, but having both those guys in the same team, you might get one full year out of 2 players. So it could be something that you want to think about. And also, too, Matty Ice being incredibly familiar with Julio Jones. They had that special connection in Atlanta. It could carry over into the Colts with that beast they got in the backfield named Jonathan Taylor. It could be something very, very special for that offense. So now we're going to roll right into the wide receivers for the old faces in new places. Marty hit on one of them just a little bit, but we are going to talk about the biggest signing in Allen Robinson II going to the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, anytime you come from a rookie quarterback from a what's the word we want to look for, from a below average system from Chicago, where they basically didn't want to look for him. They didn't want to do anything with him. Basically, they just kind of left him out to dry. He was basically like ham sandwich that was about 3 years too old. That's how they felt about him. How he's going to a run and gun offense. I know that's a terrible, terrible thing to say, but I couldn't think of anything better. Now he's going to a run and gun offense, and Sean McVay, obviously he's got a super stud quarterback here. They're in LA, and Matthew Stafford, who just got paid, by the way. So the Rams just gave him a nice new shiny contract. So with him now, you got the number 1 receiver in all of fantasy football in Cooper Kupp. It's going to take a lot of the pressure off Allen Robinson II. He's going to get lots of one-on-one coverages. Obviously, this is going to be a huge uptick in Allen Robinson's fantasy football stock. Now, with that being said,
and wait, you gotta talk about OBJ. They're not gonna have OBJ all year this year either.
Yeah,
because he tore his Super Bowl, so he's not going to be back till 2023. So. No. Unless
he's a free agent, nobody's going to sign him.
Yeah, he's a free agent now too. So
yeah,
but Rams want him back, but they'll keep him on until his ACL heals, and then they'll see what he's looking like in the preseason in 2023 and whether or not they want to give them a bigger contract and stuff like that. And plus, they lost Robert Woods.
Yep.
So
next guy we're talking about.
If they still had Robert Woods and OBJ, that receiving core of OBJ, Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, and Bobby Trees. Good God. You could they would make Andy Dalton an MVP. Put it that way.
Who?
Andy Dalton, the old Red Rock. They'd make him an MVP. They'd make Jacoby Brissett an MVP.
Who?
They can make Colin Kaepernick an MVP. I'll put it that way.
Who?
Colin Kaepernick.
Nah, dude, I was thinking Johnny Manziel, but you can go Colin Kaepernick. That's fine.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I was thinking Johnny Manziel, dude.
I completely forgot about absolute talent.
Oh man, I was thinking that. I was in the back of my head. I was like, please say Johnny, please say Johnny, please say Johnny. But you did not.
No, that's how forgettable that kid was. That's absolutely how forgettable that kid was.
That guy is crazy. Anyways, the next thing we're talking about is
for him.
What?
He's tearing it up in the CFL, so good for him.
That's really bad. The next guy we're going to talk about is Robert Woods. Purely fantasy wise, this guy's stock just plummeted with that trade to the Tennessee Titans. Everybody who watches the Titans football team knows that they have two options. Number one is Derrick Henry. Number two is Derrick Henry. Number three is Derrick Henry. And then number four is A.J. Brown. So Robert Woods is going to be great for Derrick Henry. It's going to help him out tremendously. Robert Woods was never a huge touchdown guy to begin with. Don't look for any of his stats to be great this year. This definitely is a downtick for Robert Woods and what this is going to do for his fantasy football life going into the next season. So anyways, that's about it. That's most of the fantasy football updates. I think I missed one or two. Do you know who I missed? Russell Gage signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 3 receiver this year. That's who I missed. That is a huge uptick for Tom Brady, and that is a great signing for the Buccaneers. If you have any kind of stock, obviously this year and Tom Brady being his last year, as you can see, they like to throw the ball, and this year they're going to do the same thing. They did re-sign Leonard Fournette recently, as of today or yesterday, to a 3-year, $21 million contract. That doesn't really mean a whole lot. We all know Tampa Bay likes to pass, run, pass, run. So we know that's their offense. And the biggest one I completely forgot about was Devonte Adams going to the Marty. Would you like to say this part?
To the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, now this one is very interesting. We all know Devonte Adams is an absolute superstar stud for the wide receiver core. Going into this trade, he was probably number 2 behind Cooper Kupp, maybe number 3, depending how you had it. Maybe you had Justin Jefferson slightly ahead of him. But anyways, doesn't matter. You're splitting hairs at this point. Having Devonte Adams being traded to the Las Vegas Raiders, it is definitely a little bit of a downtick more than an uptick. The reason why we say it is because the Raiders do have a couple other guys who they can throw the ball to. You might have heard of him named Darren Waller. He's one of the best tight ends in all of football. And then you also got Devonte Adams too as well, and also to Hunter Renfrow, who's a very, very nice slot receiver to have too. So now Derek Carr gets another wonderful weapon to have. So what that means is Devonte Adams, he's still going to be his route runner. He's still going to be a solid receiver. This is going to be a slight downtick. This might take him down to like somewhere between the 5 and 10 area for the wide receivers. But again, you're talking about Devonte Adams. You're also talking about Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and also Tyreek Hill. So we're not talking about a huge downtick. We're talking a slight downtick here for that. So anyways, also one more note I want to put out there. I know this is extremely way ahead of everything, but I am going to go out there and say Jerry Jeudy is going to be a top 12 wide receiver this year, and I think Courtland Sutton will be a top 8 receiver this year. Just putting it out there. So,
all right. I mean, we could also talk. I mean, not huge signings, but Von Miller going from the Raiders to Buffalo. That's great for an already great Buffalo defense.
The Rams to Buffalo.
Yeah, from the Rams to Buffalo. J.C. Jackson going from New England to the Chargers.
That's huge.
Christian Kirk going from Arizona to Jacksonville. I don't know what he was thinking there.
Money.
But I mean, money wise, okay, 4 years, $72 million. All right, whatever.
He's making it rain, son.
I mean, good Lord. I mean, Randy Gregory screwed my Cowboys going to Denver.
Best deal ever.
Who else did some stuff? Who else? What do we got here?
I think the best thing about Randy Gregory is not only did he take the deal to go to Denver, but now he's just like absolutely just slashing and bad-mouthing everything he can about Dallas. It's great. The guy who came in, dropped his draft status because he couldn't lay off the weed, is now talking crap on the one team who took a chance on him. Freaking moron.
After chance after chance.
Yeah.
And,
not smart.
Right. But I mean, you got Cedric Wilson. He left the Cowboys going to Miami. I think it's a great pickup for Miami.
He's awesome. Solid
guy, great third down guy for him. I mean, good for Miami on that one. Mariota, he left Vegas and went to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a weird signing.
Yeah, I mean, but who does Atlanta have now? Who's Atlanta's starting quarterback?
Jimmy G.
Well, he's not yet. So right now it's Marcus Mariota.
Scary.
Who else we got? Trubisky.
What do you think is a perfect? I was about to ask you that. What do you think is a weirder signing? Mariota to the Falcons or Trubisky to the Steelers? I mean, both those are weird.
Well, I mean, you lose Rapeless Burger and
Roethlisberger.
Rapeless Burger.
That was like 10 years ago. He's guilty. He's innocent.
No.
Can't let that one go, huh?
No.
A couple of under the radar signings here that you might want to watch. And this is the only reason why I'm saying this is because the tight end corp, if you don't get a top 3 tight end, top 4 possibly, it gets really, really terrible. One guy we're talking about is Austin Hooper. Very, very smart signing here by the Tennessee Titans. Last year, they didn't have a whole lot of output from their tight ends. Austin Hooper, obviously, if you remember him, a couple of years ago from Atlanta, came in as a huge signing for the Cleveland Browns. He did sign a small 1 year, $6 million deal in Tennessee to reprove himself. Again, Tennessee likes to run. But if you're in a deeper league, a 12, 14, 16 team league, and you're looking for a decent tight end who will give you some production, Austin Hooper is the guy. Another guy who got signed was O.J. Howard, tight end for the Buffalo Bills. He sucks, so that's not going to do anything whatsoever for you, so don't even worry about him. Now the Dolphins kind of did a couple of weird things. They signed Raheem Mostert, running back from the San Francisco 49ers, to a 1 year, $3 million deal. Also, they signed Chase Edmonds, running back from the Arizona Cardinals, too, as well. So they are definitely loading up in the running back room. So those are just kind of interesting signings. A really good signing possibly for the Detroit Lions is DJ Chark Jr. We know that he can be a number 1 receiver. We know that Detroit doesn't have what you call a solid receiving core. So that could be a great signing for him. Another thing we're going to talk about is Evan Ingram. He had a 1 year, $9 million deal with Jacksonville. That is the worst way to spend $9 million any franchise could. So I'm sure he's going to say thank you very much to the bank all the way down.
Yep.
And then also I forgot about this one. I'm really glad I saw this. Juju Smith-Schuster signed. This to me might be the most sneaky good signing of the year.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it is because the Chiefs, if you think of the Kansas City Chiefs, you think speed, explosiveness, downhill, deep passing. You think Travis Kelce's going to get 25, 30 yards of pass. You think Tyreek Hill is going to get 60, 70-yard bombs every play, which obviously doesn't happen. That's unrealistic. But now they have a solid slot receiver guy who's willing to do the tough work, who's willing to get the 5-yard pass, who's willing to get hit, who's willing to do the tough stuff, who's willing to block. This to me is a very sneaky good signing. And now Juju has a top 2, top 1 quarterback, depending on how you look at it. So this is a huge uptick for Juju. So and
we forgot to talk about this. Fucking Khalil Mack going to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun to watch. So yeah, it's just so much is going on this offseason that's it's so much fun to watch. This is like in recent memories, I don't know if there's been more significant big time player movements than there ever has been this year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of big time moves going on here.
The fact that Deshaun Watson you traded him for 3 number 1 draft picks.
5 overall, 3 number 1s and 2 others.
Like, I don't know what the hell Cleveland was thinking.
Well, they're thinking they're going to get 3 draft picks back for trading Baker.
Right, but they're not going to get 3 number 1s.
No, If you get like a 2, 3, and a 6, they're not going to hate that.
They'll get 1 first round since he was the number 1 overall pick.
No,
yes,
they will.
Yeah, they will.
No,
they will. Dude, Deshaun Watson, when did he get drafted?
11th overall.
Right.
Not in Clemson.
Picks. They'll get 1 number 1 back.
Who's going to give him a number 1?
Whoever they trade to, they'll give him 1.
All right, give me a team. Give me a team that would give him a number 1, dude. The Panthers. That's not going to happen. The Falcons. That ain't happening.
Why not?
Why would they give a 1-up? They don't. No, doesn't make any sense. They're going to give a 1-up for a quarterback who might not even start this year. Doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense to give 3 number 1s for Deshaun Watson, who didn't even play last year.
Yeah, well, top 5 overall quarterback, man. Of course. When's the last time? Can you name a quarterback 26 years old that's in his prime? That's a top 5 quarterback that was on the trade market. Can you name one?
No, but I don't think Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback.
And don't say Johnny Manziel.
I don't think Watson is a top 5 quarterback.
Okay.
I think giving up 3 number 1s and 5 picks overall for him, who didn't even play last year, is too much.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at it from a purely non-fantasy perspective, probably. If you look at it from a fantasy football perspective, you have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper. That's a nice 4. That's a nice 4 to have. Just saying.
Right.
But I mean, and honestly, we're talking about purely fantasy football here. I would take Deshaun Watson. I would probably go pure fantasy football only. Just by points and whatever. I think you have to go Rodgers 1 right now, Mahomes 2. I mean, you can flip that obviously. Allen 3, probably Lamar Jackson 4, and you got to put Deshaun Watson 5.
Is he better than Herbert?
I would take Watson over Herbert, absolutely.
I wouldn't.
Well, I would take him because he's going to get you the rushing yards. I mean, I know Herbert will, but Watson will get you more. And in that division, too, now that they have a running quarterback, now those guys are going to play 11-on-11 defense. It's going to be a lot tougher for those guys to play.
Watson over Burrow?
Shit. Oh, shit.
His counterpart in Cleveland or in Cincinnati, Ohio. You forget about Johnny B.
Oh, crap.
You can't forget about Johnny Manziel. You forgot about Johnny B.
Okay, give me Burrow. Give me Burrow. I like that receiving core, man. You can't. I mean, three top receivers like that. That's tough to beat, man. Yeah. And then you got a running back in the background who you can throw the ball to anywhere, and he's going to freaking catch it.
Right. I mean, I would take Drew Lock over Watson.
You're not going to take Drew Lock. You're not going to take the Seattle quarterback over freaking Watson. Drew Lock's not going to be drafted in 3 quarterback leagues, dude.
Oh.
If you're playing a 16-team 3-quarterback league, Drew Lock's still not getting drafted in any of that crap, dude.
You'll take Drew Brees before you take Drew Lock.
Dude, I would take Joe Montana before Drew Lock. I might take Johnny Manziel before that, dude.
Oh man, it's funny.
Hey, here you go. Matt Stafford or Deshaun Watson?
Stafford.
You take Stafford over him, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Tom Brady or Watson?
Oh, Brady all day.
Right. You didn't even list Tom Brady in your top 5 in your other argument.
Crap, I always forget about Tom Brady. Well, he retired, so like in my mind, like he's already gone, and he came back. So in my defense, like that 2-week span when he was actually retired, I forgot about him. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta look at the Panthers. The Panthers are gonna get somebody because the Panthers quarterback is Sam Darnold. That ain't gonna happen. So, and then you still got Jimmy G out there who's gonna be traded. I think the Niners are honestly waiting for an injury to happen before they trade him.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just what I think. Because I mean, you have an established quarterback. So say you're, I don't know. Let's think of a team. Let's say you're Tampa Bay, right? Tom Brady's last year. Like it's a say Tom Brady goes out with a freaking bad shoulder, and you can go get Jimmy G and give up 2 second-round picks. You're say 11-2. I'm just like, for example, like that to me makes a lot of sense. Let's say, or for example, you're, I don't know, dude. We'll say Tennessee or the Titans, and we'll say Ryan Tannehill, shatters his ankle. You can go out there and get Jimmy G in week 6 and not lose a single beat. I mean, who's not going to do that? Long term, though, I'd still take Deshaun Watson. I mean, if I'm in a keeper league, dude, and I can get Deshaun, I'm gonna take him. Just me. Now, if you're in a keeper league, who do you take? Who's your quarterback that you would take over all the rest in the keeper league? You got to keep this dude for 5 to 10 years. Who would it be?
5 to 10?
Next 5 to 10 years, you got to keep this quarterback for the next, we'll say 10 years. Who would it be?
Josh Allen.
Really?
Yeah.
I would too.
I mean, you can make the argument for Mahomes too. I mean,
no, I want Allen.
But I think Allen will have. I think when it's all said and done, Allen will have a better overall career than Mahomes. And I hate saying that because I'm a Texas Tech guy and he's a Texas Tech guy, and the guy already has an MVP, Super Bowl win, and a Super Bowl MVP in his first 3 seasons.
Yep.
But I think overall career-wise, Josh Allen will have more accolades than Mahomes.
Okay.
Even though Mahomes got all these weapons around him, but I think he'll also have those weapons around him too, because everybody will want to go play because Mahomes is a quarterback. That's why people want to go play in Tampa Bay, because Brady's a quarterback. They want to go, they want to go play because Josh Allen's a quarterback.
They want to go win.
Right. They want to go win. Like these people in the last years of their careers, like Von Miller, this is his last team. He's not going to. He may not even play his full 6 years on that. And that was another reason I thought was weird, that like you signed this not old guy but older guy for 6 years. Yeah, he's 30, so he's only 32. Okay, so he's good. I don't think he's going to be playing defense.
38.
He's got to be playing defensive end when he's 38 years old. Not many defensive people play that old.
No, he won't want to too. Once he wins one more ring, he's probably done.
Right.
Like, what's the point? Like, what else do you have to prove?
Exactly.
At that point, like you have 3 rings. If you win one more, I mean, he's got MVPs. He's got whatever he wants. Defensive Player of the Year, dude. 2nd overall pick coming out of Texas A&M. Like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else for him to do.
Yeah.
Like, nothing for him to do after that. So, I think that's why he chose Buffalo's, because he knows how good they are and he knows how close they are too. On top of that, and plus he got paid. On top of that, that's not a bad deal. $20 million a year. That ain't bad whatsoever. So that'll buy.
If I was him, I think I don't know, it's kind of a catch-22, I guess. I think the Super Bowl will be won by an AFC team this year.
Absolutely.
But it just depends on which AFC team.
Well, you got 4 absolute studs in the West.
Right.
You got 2 absolute studs in the East. Well, 1 absolute stud and 1 up-and-coming superstar.
Oh, almost there.
He's getting there.
One in the North.
You what?
You got 1 in the North.
AFC North? Oh, yeah, Jackson.
Yeah. No.
And Burrow. So you got 2.
Oh, yeah. So you got Baltimore and Cincinnati. So there's 2. So there's 4 in the West, 2 in the North, 2 in the East.
And you forgot Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah. Add him into the mix. Who do you got in the South in the AFC?
Quarterback-wise, Matty Ice.
just a team that could win a Super Bowl in the South.
You got Matt Ryan.
But I don't think he can't. I don't think Indy's not ready to win the Super Bowl.
Look at all the teams we just said. We just mentioned 8 teams that are loaded in the AFC right now. Loaded. Yeah. Like that to me is incredible. I mean, it's just like it. So you basically, it's almost like you're playing the regular season just to make the playoffs. Like you're not even worried about the number 1 seed because it's just not going to happen probably.
Right. And then, but who do you got in the NFC? Honestly, who do you have in the NFC?
You got Stafford, obviously. You got to go him.
You got the Ram.
You got the dude from the. You got that stud from the Cardinals, Murray.
I'm just talking about teams that could win the Super Bowl. NFC.
Well, Buccaneers, Rams,
Bucks, Rams.
Maybe the Niners. I think it's a long shot, though. I don't know.
So you got.
I mean, to put that on Trey Lance.
And we have 8 in the NFC.
Well, who else are we missing? Packers, no. Vikings, no. Bears, hell no.
Detroit, no.
What are you talking about, man? Detroit is awesome.
You got that's the North. So the East,
you got the Cow Lickers,
Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Commanders.
You got the Cow Lickers.
Not to just be a homer, but I think the only team that has a chance is the Cowboys. I don't think the Eagles do. So
are the Cowboys getting Vince Lombardi from the grave or something? They have no chance.
I'm just saying somebody has to come out of that. Somebody has to win that. And I don't see it.
It'll be the Bucks.
The division of the.
Well, all the Eagles won that division this year.
So in the South, you got Tampa Bay, Atlanta, New Orleans, and
the Panthers. The Panthers. Well, you got Tampa Bay and 3 doormats. That's what you have in that division. I mean, it's just what it is. The only person that has any kind of fantasy relevance in that division, I mean, obviously Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. That's it.
Right.
And Cordell Patterson, if you want to throw him in there.
And Brady still.
Well, I just meant that were non-Tampa Buccaneers.
Oh, that were non-Tampa. Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't finish the sentence. I thought it, but I didn't say it.
And in the West, you have the Niners,
Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks.
So you got 3 potential playoff teams just in the West.
Yeah, very easily.
So you have 7 playoff teams in the West this year.
Yeah.
Combined.
So also, like every Monday Night Football, every Sunday Night Football is going to be from the West.
No shit, dude. No shit.
It'll be
everybody playing from the West.
It'll be everybody from the West and then the Buccaneers and Cowboys, and that's it. All the rest teams can just be done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, dude. Well, in all honesty, if Seattle gets a quarterback, they could go get Baker.
Yeah.
Just saying, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
No.
I mean, on when Baker got drafted, they almost traded Russell Wilson for the number 1 draft pick overall, which again, we don't know if that would have been Baker Mayfield, but they did offer that deal. So it's kind of coming full circle around 4 years later, which is kind of weird, but whatever.
And if they did trade for Baker, they could. I know you won't like this, but they could give up one of those first round picks they got for Russell. It wasn't theirs in the first place. Trade one of the ones they just got from Denver.
That makes sense.
All right. We're no worse off and no better off than we already were because we only had 1 draft pick before we gave it up. All right, you can have this one that we got from Denver. Yeah, we'll give them the one from Denver or whatever. Yeah, who finished with a worse record?
Oh, Denver. It's a 9th overall pick.
And where's Seattle's pick?
To the Jets. That was in the Jamal Adams trade.
So
I want to say that's 10th overall. It's either I think it's 10th overall.
It was 2 first round picks, right?
Yeah, 1 this year. I think 1 the year before or next. All I know is that the Jets won that deal, dude. Jamal Adams is trash.
So trade the one that they're going to get next year that Denver gave them.
I think it's this year.
But didn't they give them 2?
Oh, man.
Did get 2?
I can look it up real quick. I honestly don't know. I know. Oh, maybe it was 2. I think it was 2. Yeah. No, Denver gave, I think, like 4 picks and 3 players.
I just had it on my thing here.
Let me see, dude. I'll bring it up here. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Okay, so they got Noah Fant. They got Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks. So you are correct about that one. 9th overall this year.
So trade your 2023 round, your first round for next year.
Well, they got 9th overall this year, 2023. So those are your 2 first. 2 second-round picks, number 40 this year, and in 2023. And then this year in 2022, they got a 5th-round pick. So they got a 1, 3, and 5 this year. And they got I'm sorry, I'm wrong about that. They got a 1, 2, and 5 this year.
Yep.
And next year they got a 1 and 2. And then Seattle also got Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris. So basically, Seattle gave up 7 different resources, or however you want to say it, for Russell Wilson. So I mean,
and Denver got a 2022 a 4th rounder this year.
Yeah. So if you look at it, so if what you're saying, let's just say they go and call Denver and say, hey, we'll give you a 2, and a 5. We'll give you the leftovers from the Russell Wilson trade. We keep the 2 1s, right?
Okay.
So then that turns into Baker Mayfield and then 2 1s. That's not bad, dude.
Yeah.
I think if you go to Cleveland, you say, hey, we'll give you Russell Wilson and 2 1s for Baker, they would take it all day. That's basically what it would come out to be. Plus, they got three NFL guys now on top of that, which they couldn't have gotten with trading for Baker.
So Seattle's going to call Cleveland and say, all right, we'll give you 2 number 2s and a number 5 for Baker.
They're going to take it.
Yeah.
They'll take that in a heartbeat. They'll say, okay, thank you.
Yep. 2. We'll take your number 2 this year, your number 2 next year, and then the 5th round from this year. Your 2nd and 5th from this year, 2nd round from next year, Baker, done. Yeah, because they're still going to essentially have 3 number 1 picks on their fucking team because you got Baker. Your 2 picks, you get, because they're going to have 2 picks this year and 2 picks next year. So they're going to have 4 in after 2023. They're going to have 5 number 1 overall draft picks.
Yeah, basically, because
5 first round draft picks.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't do that. I wouldn't disagree with that deal.
Yeah,
I like that deal. I think that makes a lot of sense. And Baker, I mean, you got Baker throwing to Noah Fant, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. That's not bad, dude. Baker obviously is not going to throw the deep pass, and I think that's actually a blessing in disguise because I think like 2 years ago, DK came out and said that basically Seattle ran the ball, and then threw a deep pass, and so like everybody knew what they were doing. So I think with this, like, you know, sometimes I feel like coaches become too much in love with what they have, and I feel like Pete Carroll became too much in love with Russell Wilson's deep pass because it's a pretty pass. Let's not lie. Let's not sugarcoat that. He's probably got the best deep ball in all of football. That's a tongue twister. But with that being said, you know, that's not Baker's game. Baker wants to get it out in 5, 10, 15 yards. He wants to be done quick. So that might be a more prolific, fast going offense that they like to do. So it might work really well for what they're trying to do. So, and plus, if you watch some of the tape on Baker, he makes some damn good throws, man. Yeah. I'm not really a big fan of him, but I've just seen some of his throws I'm just like, that's pretty good. It's pretty good accuracy. It's pretty good read when he's healthy. So let's just put that out there. So you look at it this way. Also, you take with Cleveland. So Cleveland would get a 2 2s and a 5. So this year, this draft, they would have
2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks.
Cleveland doesn't have any of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait. They gave Houston that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they get back. So next year, they would have 2 number 2s, 2 second rounds next year because they gave up first round for the next. They gave up a first round for the next 3 years. Next year, they gave their third. This year they gave up their fourth, and then 2024 gave up a fourth.
Solid.
Fucking weird. But anyway, they won't have a first round pick this year or next year, but they could have 2 second rounds this year, next year.
Yeah.
If they trade Baker for the 2 2s and the 5.
Yeah, and if you do that, you basically traded 3 1s for Deshaun.
Right.
That's basically how the math works on that. And that's why they did that, because they know they're gonna get some kind of value for Baker. It's just gonna happen that way. So
I think that's what Cleveland should do. They should call up Seattle and look, we'll take your 2 2s and a 5 for Baker. Done.
Well, so basically you have Baker going to Seattle, you have Wilson going to Denver, you got Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland. And then that's basically like a
trade that they should have contacted us and we could have told them what they needed to do.
Oh, they got to contact the hotline, man. You gotta get the 2 Fools in Fantasy Football hotline going, man.
And so, wait a second.
We got to get like the old WWE days where they used to pick up the phone in front of other fans and they can call us for 80 cents a minute.
Yeah. Get the hotline.
We give them fantasy football advice. Hey, we're gonna do for 80 cents a minute. All right, cool. Oh, that's great. That sounds like something that we would do. Get a nice big old landline back in the day.
Yep.
So
can't believe that's all Atlanta got for Matt Ryan was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that was weird. They must have just really wanted to dump that salary.
That just blows my mind.
Well, what did they sign Mariota for? They gave him like a 2 for $28.
Ugh.
Let me see. I think it was like something like 2 for $28 or something like that. I don't even know. But that to me was like the weirdest freaking signing. Oh man, Matt Ryan's trade creates the largest dead cap hit in all of NFL history. Well, no shit, dude. The dude was supposed to make like $35 million this year, dude. Let's see. He got a 2-year deal.
That's all dead right now?
What?
That's all dead money right now?
Yeah.
For who? The Falcons?
Yep.
So they can't use any of that money.
Mm-mm. Well, they're trying to get rid of it anyways because they weren't even thinking about it. Obviously, they're not going to compete this year. Can you even name 5 guys on the Falcons roster?
True.
And you know, like
Mariota was 2 for 18-7.
2 for 18?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah, but can you even name 5 guys off the roster for the Falcons?
No.
You got 1 guy who's suspended for the whole year. You got Pitts. You got Mariota. Cordell Patterson.
You said Pitts, right?
Yeah, Kyle.
Okay, so you got Pitts, Patterson.
The Killer Peas. Mariota. Suspended boy.
Calvin Ridley, which is dude. That should be appealed, and he should be able to play some games.
We don't know the details, dude. We don't know who's lying, dude. That's so weird.
Right.
But it makes sense though.
Right, but no, it doesn't make sense because people that beat their wives and children and stuff like that, 2 games. But oh no, you bet $1,500, not even on against your team. Oh, all year. It's ridiculous. Fucking absolutely ridiculous.
He won't be betting again. I can guarantee you that.
Right, but I see betting against your team and you dropping passes and dropping touchdowns and stuff like that to make your money. Yeah, that's illegal, and you should be kicked out of the league for doing that. But you're just like, oh, hey, I'm going to bet $1,500 on the Rams and the Rams and the who the fuck do they play? Buccaneers? No. Who the fuck did the Rams play? Oh, Cincinnati.
I was like, you got 30 more guesses. I don't know.
You're going to bet $1,500 on the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, whoa. You can't bet on your own sport. Fuck you.
Well, yeah. Next time, just don't put your name on it. Just have your cousin do it.
Yeah, like have your wife do it or whatever. Be like,
that's too obvious. You can't do a wife, dude. You got to do like a third cousin, dude, from your
it can be your
uncle's side. All right, everyone. Thank you for checking out our show. Make sure you please hit and smash that like button, subscribe. Please ask questions, talk about it. Give us your thoughts, man. Where do you think Baker's going to go? Where do you think Jimmy G's going to go? What's going to happen with the rest of the QB movement here in the NFL? Also, too, what's going to happen in the draft? Please drop your thoughts, put your likes, give us your ideas and what can happen. And also, too, tell us who you want your favorite team to draft and why, and how it's going to help your squad this year. Anyways, do that. Like, subscribe, share, add. Please tell everybody about us. Also, too, the more comments you put, the more stuff on there, the more the algorithms like us. So have them like us because we would appreciate that. So we're signing out right now. Marty, do you want to add anything to this, man, before we rock and roll?
I just want to make sure everybody knows that the Kyle Pickett, that's the quarterback's name. He's got like big hands. I don't know. That was the big thing at the combine. Everybody was talking about how big his hands were. I don't know what that matters in NFL, but the guy had big hands.
Good. So he can give a hell of a handshake.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't know. He's got big hands, 8.5-inch hands. Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter. Anyway, Doug Flutie was a great quarterback, and guess what? He probably had fucking tiny hands. So I guess it doesn't matter how big your fucking hands are. Anyway, I am Marty McFly signing out. First video 2022. This is my boy, Tyler, the young cool fool.
Yeah, I am Tyler, the uncool fool. And who knows, maybe by the end of this year, I'll be kind of cool. Who knows? Yeah. Let's not hold your breath there, 2F Nation. So, all right, guys and girls, have a great rest of your week. We can't wait to get back to you. We are definitely going to drop some more knowledge on there for you. And next video, we will talk more fantasy football to get you set up for the upcoming 2022 season. All right, everybody, have a great night. Take care.